Hey everybody, this is James from Real Talk with Jimmy, and I want to talk about the reason why Democrats and Tim Walz want civil war. The Democrats want civil war because they're going to lose a bunch of electoral representation, a bunch of congressional representation come 2030 with the new census. As we can see, California's going to lose 4 House seats and 4 electoral votes. Oregon's going to lose 1. Idaho, Utah, and Arizona are all going to gain 1. Texas is going to gain 4. That's a big deal. Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Illinois all going to lose 1. Florida is going to gain 2. Georgia and North Carolina are both going to gain 1, and then New York, Pennsylvania, and Rhode Island are all going to lose 1. So that evens out to be about 10 to 13 electoral vote and House seat swing. And the reason why the Democrats are so opposed to the mass deportation, to the removal of illegals, is because they're going to lose congressional power. Because if we recall, the Constitution specifically states it's based on state population and not citizenship. And we've taken that to mean everybody in the country. And that's why Trump is trying to reverse that. He's trying to get citizens to only be counted in the census, so that way it doesn't screw up with representation and the citizens are not disenfranchised by any future illegal immigration operations that the Democrats try to pull. So I want to take this time to apply these predictions into the electoral map for 2030. So if we look, all right, so even if Democrats win Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Nevada, they will still lose the election. And that's why Trump is in favor of deportations, not just because of the safety of our country, but to entrench Republican power. The same thing goes with Democrats. Democrats don't want it because it'd be hard for them to win an election. And if we look at the election map for 2024, we could see 312 to 226. But if we go back and let's say we make this Republican and make Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Nevada, Republicans will win 321 to 217. And and I want to state also that Tim Walz somehow thinks that he's putting together a Fort Sumter moment here, like a John Brown moment as well. And look at what he had to say about what's going on in Minneapolis.
This is really important what he said. Listen.
And at this point in time, I told Tom, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, but unless I see a reduction in these folks on the streets, I'm going to have to say that to my folks. So look, we all think we all want to avoid that, but I think the reality has sunk in this week. If you thought you could pass this by and you thought there was nothing there, I mean, is this a Fort Sumter, John Brown moment? Where are we at on this? And we're doing everything right. And I have said it time and time again. The way you win this is through.
We're
Yeah, so I mean, as you can see, Tim Walz is not playing kindly. Actually, it's dangerous rhetoric is what he's doing because he's deciding that he's like above the law and that it's okay to overtly disobey the laws and to subvert the federal government. The state of Minnesota is in active rebellion. Um, if we look at all these checkpoints that are being now uh, done around Minneapolis and around Minnesota, um, this is not lawful. And I think that uh, Insurrection Act a long time ago um, because these people do not have the right to act as de facto law enforcement. They don't have a right to be a vigilante, especially um, for a cause that surrounds breaking the law. Um, these illegals have broken the law. They violated 8 USC 1325, which is improper entry of an illegal alien. Those harboring illegals have also broken the law, and people have broken the law by giving um, government assistance, government aid to people, and also regarding Civil War II, I don't see, where do we go from here because it seems like to be a no off ramp. Um, these Democrats should think they can do whatever the hell they want, but in reality, I mean, look at all these things that have come into play. I mean, two assassination attempts on Trump. Charlie Kirk was assassinated. There have been ICE attacks, families being doxxed, attacks on journalists, attacks on media, the Tesla attacks, the Republican headquarters attacks, attacks on just regular old citizens. If I wear a Trump shirt or a Trump hat, am I going to get attacked? If I go to a restaurant and um, with a MAGA hat or a Trump shirt on, am I gonna are the server gonna spit my food? Those types of things that we're at right now because and we're not just seeing it from the physical standpoint. It's gotten physical now, but before it was physical, it was more judicial. They did like a lawfare. Um, they've convicted Trump. They've thrown him in jail. They've arrested him, and now, I mean, they've impeached him twice. And where's the off ramp? Because now more people are favoring assassination. More people are saying forcibly rise up against the government, and that's not a good thing. All this violent escalation is at some point gonna boil over, and then what do you feel in a situation where uh, the National Guard needs to be deployed in a blue state, in a Democrat area, and then the governor, either whether it be Walz or Newsom or um, whomever, Jamie Pritzker, gives opposing orders to the National Guard of that state, but then Trump gives his orders. So who do I follow? And some people might say, my country or my home, and I choose my home because I have a family, I have a job, I have a life, and I can't afford to give those things away over some orders. So, I mean, there might be a command issue, but I think that Trump should have invoked the Insurrection Act a long time ago, as it is necessary. And when they were, especially when leftists were broke into ICE vehicles, stole weapons and ammo and confidential information, and to know that the Minnesota Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan and the state senator Alex Falconer have been in cahoots with Democrats to wage war against the United States and to oppose federal laws. I think it is justification for the Insurrection Act, but Trump's taking a lot of half measures, and I don't necessarily agree with the way he has handled all these riots in Minnesota and previous riots, because he should invoke the Insurrection Act, but I think he's afraid of possibly what may happen if he does invoke the Insurrection Act. But I think that we're seeing people being stopped at checkpoints, people's lives being threatened, law and order is out the window, and a militant force needs to come down and suppress this rebellion, because that's what it is. It's a rebellion. So that's pretty much all I have to say about it. I mean, there'll be more videos in the future. So like, share, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss one of my videos. But there'll be more videos in the future.